What's up, everybody? Welcome to DFS by the Numbers. This is my betting breakdown video for UFC 266. I'm getting it out a day early. I'm heading to Vegas for the fights on Saturday, so I recorded it before I'm heading out on my flight here. And as always, if you guys can leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. I'm going to be talking about the fights and from a betting perspective and a betting perspective only. If you do want a further, more in-depth breakdown on why I like which fighter or on why I am betting what, I did post a full card breakdown and prediction video on Tuesday, and also going live on Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, and then live once more on Saturday with Uncle Weezy, Narco Cop, and we're going to give the best bet for each and every fight on the card on Saturday. So make sure you subscribe so you're not miss out on all of that. And I did note that I'm not doing a DraftKings contest because I will be in Vegas and I won't be able to get out invites. So what I'm going to do instead is do a contest on this video. So the contest is, I did this before. To enter the contest, first leave a like on the video, second subscribe, and then third, comment down any parlay you want. It could be a long parlay, a short parlay. You can parlay props, parlay anything you want. Just be sure to include the odds. If you don't, I'll just use the odds that I have here, but just be sure to include the odds on the parlay. Whoever has the highest odds in parlay and it hits gets $25, and also you hit your parlay. So we'll see how that works out. Comment down your parlay. I'll also comment down one for myself as well. I'll participate as well. So make sure you guys do that. Did want to do a second contest because I was not able to get to the DraftKings one. So with all that out of the way, I say we get into it. And yeah, I'll be honest, guys, this is a very sketchy card. A lot of big favorites that are very sketchy. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be doing parlays, and I literally could not find a parlay that I like outside of Valentina, and she's like minus 2,000. It's just a very, very sketchy card. So I stayed away from the straight picks. I stayed away from the parlays. I have no straight bets. I have no parlays. Pretty much everything I have is props, and that's how I'm going to be attacking this card because it's a very, very tough card. Lots of very sketchy matchups, and we'll talk about why. But we'll start with the first fight, Omar Morales going against Jonathan Pierce. We have Omar Morales, who is minus 155, and then Jonathan Pierce is plus 135. So the route I did take in this fight is going to be the fight doesn't go to decision. I have half a unit on it at plus 115, and the reason why is you take a look at Jonathan Pierce, and he is a kill or be killed fighter. 12 of his 14 fights have ended inside the distance, and although Morales isn't much of a finisher, only a 63% finish rate, he is a black belt in BJJ, and it does look like he hits hard, but only 2 knockouts on his record. But Jonathan Pierce, whenever he fights, he leaves a ton of openings. He is very, very hittable, and I would not be shocked at all if Omar Morales knocked out Jonathan Pierce or potentially submitted him. Jonathan Pierce is sloppy in everything it does, but with that sloppiness comes pace, it comes pressure, comes a ton of output. And I think on the flip side, Jonathan Pierce, if he can put a wrestling heavy pace on Omar Morales, take this into deep waters, I think he can potentially find a late finish himself. So I think this covers both sides. The fight doesn't go to decision. Half a unit on it, and plus 115. Moving on, Matthew Semmelsberger going against Martin Sano. We don't have props out on the Sano side, but I wouldn't recommend betting any of those anyway. This is a straight pass for me. Matt Semmelsberger, if you got him earlier in the week, now that minus 510, I just don't really see a point in that, right? Like, we have not seen Sano in about 5 years. He very well could have made improvements, but from what I've seen, Matt Semmelsberger should absolutely go out there and starch Martin Sano. Martin Sano, 0 takedown defense, 0 cardio, okay grappling, but I think Semmelsberger has him covered pretty much everywhere, and he should knock him out. But do I want to pay minus 165 for Matt Semmelsberger inside the distance? No, not really, but I'd rather much pay that than the minus 510 that he is sitting at. So if you do like Semmelsberger, probably play the minus 165 inside the distance, but I will be passing. I think he does win, but you never know. Sano could have leveled up. He could have made improvements in these 5 years. You just never know. So Matt Semmelsberger, too many questions for me, but this is a big pass on my side here. But yeah, give me Semmelsberger for the win. Heroes Medic going against Jalen Turner. My night will come down to this fight here. I have 2.5 units on the fight doesn't go to decision, minus 190, and I have a half a unit on the fight won't start round 3 at plus 100. So I have 3 units total on this fight basically ending inside the distance, and I'll tell you why I think it does. Heroes Medic, a 100% finish rate. Jalen Turner, a 100% finish rate. Jalen Turner's been knocked out 3 times. He's been knocked out as an amateur as well. I think Euros Medic has a great opportunity to come in here and probably get another first-round knockout. But if he does not, I think Jalen Turner's the more well-rounded fighter, the more tested fighter. He has been later in the fight, unlike Euros Medic. Euros Medic, he's never been to decision, and he's never been over that 1.5 round mark. The most he's been in a fight is like less than a minute. into the second round. He got a second round finish there. So, Medic, I do have a lot of question marks if he does not get an early finish, and maybe we do see that, but I think it covers both sides here. It covers the Medic first round upside. I think Jalen Turner can also win in the first round, but it covers Jalen Turner, maybe later in the fight, second round, and, Jalen Turner's a finisher himself, very dangerous, good submissions, a brown belt in BJJ. In Medic, I've seen, him taken down by some very low-level guys. I've seen him put in some very bad spots by some low-level guys as well, but it's going to be the biggest test of Medic's career. And ultimately, I really don't care who wins, to be honest. All I care about is some violence here, very deep into this violence bet, 3 units deep, and if this will make or break my night here. If it finishes, it'll be a good night. If it does not finish, it'll be a bad night. So definitely coming down to this fight. And if one of these guys will win a decision, it'll be the very first time out of how many fights? It'll be the very first time out of a combined 22 fights that they've won a decision, which is pretty crazy, right? So, yeah, give me the fight doesn't go for this fight. I think it's the best way to attack it, and I can't believe it's sitting at minus 190 on some books, minus 165. I saw minus 160 on 5 dimes for the fight doesn't go to decision. Just makes no sense to me. I don't know what data or what tape could make anybody want to bet this fight to go to decision. It just doesn't make sense, but we'll see. I think it does finish, and that is my biggest play of the night. Moving on, Cody Brundage going against Nick Maximov. So Brundage is coming in on short notice, and he was supposed to fight on the Contender Series coming up here. So they're putting him in here against Nick Maximov, and it's a close, tough fight here. I don't like the fact that Brundage is coming in on short notice, but with that said, he was already trained to be on the Contender Series, so I think he'll be fine in that aspect. And we do see that Nick Maximov open up at minus 350. And he's now down to minus 140, so lots of love on the Cody Brundage side, and I get it. Brundage is probably the more well-rounded fighter. He has a wrestling background himself. He wrestled in high school. He wrestled in college. But Maximov, he's a brown belt in BJJ, I believe. He's pretty solid. He fights to a game plan. Close fight. I do think the line should be coming down. I think it should be line close. I'm probably going to stick with Maximov here as far as a win goes, but yeah, lots of love on the Brundage side. I definitely see why. Maybe the fight doesn't go to decision could be a decent look. Right now it's at minus 170. I don't love that price tag, but if it comes down a little bit, I'll be taking a look at that. But right now, fight doesn't go to decision, it would probably interest me the most. So we'll see if that changes throughout the week. But yeah, fight doesn't go is the only look I really like in this fight. Other than that, it's a pass. Taila Santos going against Roxanne Modafferi. So I shouted this out last week. I had a 3-leg parlay, 2 legs last week, and then 1 leg this week. Last week was Sarukian, Blanchfield, and this week's going to be Taila Santos. And, honestly, Taila Santos is probably the only parlay piece I feel comfortable with this week, outside of Shevchenko, who's minus 2,000. But, yeah, I like Taila Santos here. I tried to give everybody a warning earlier in the week on my breakdown video. Do not go and watch the Morella fight. Save yourself some money. Don't watch it. I've been watching and I've been losing money. I bet Molly McCann. I didn't bet Robertson, but I picked Robertson to win, and she's just a completely different fighter than she showed in that Contender Series debut, or not Contender Series, UFC debut. She looked good on the Contender Series. She was just a completely different fighter. She said she had anxiety. It was her first fight, and I think we, oftentimes look at somebody's debut and a little bit too harsh with judging them. Like Rong Zhu, for example. Rong Zhu looked horrible against Kazula Vargas, but he came back in his next fight, and he looked phenomenal. He looked dominant. So I think that's the same thing with Santos. Santos has looked phenomenal and dominant. Haven't even talked about the matchup, but Santos has Roxanne Modafferi covered everywhere outside of experience, right? Like Santos is going to be the better striker. Santos is going to be more physically strong, the better wrestler. Pure grappling probably goes to Modafferi, but it was very impressive that Santos was able to take down Jillian Robertson, who's more dangerous than Roxanne Modafferi on the mat, and just take her down, dominate her for 15 minutes, stay out of submission. So, I mean, I don't see a path to victory for Roxanne Modafferi. I mean, maybe she can take down Santos. I highly doubt it. Coming off of an injury, she's now 38, 39 years old. It's just very hard for me to get to see a path to victory for Roxanne Modafferi. So ultimately, Taila Santos will close out that parlay. I have at minus 123 Blanchfield, Sarukian, and Santos for 1.25 units. So hopefully that hits and she gets it done. And I'd be kind of shocked if she didn't. But Roxanne has pulled stuff out before, but against low level competition like an Andrea Lee or like an Anthony Shevchenko. So we'll move on. Chris Daukaus, Shamil Abdurakhimov, and I do have another bet here. Chris Daukaus winning inside the distance, half a unit, plus 110. Chris Daukaus is very dangerous, as we've seen 3 first-round finishes in the UFC, going against Shamil Abdurakhimov, who is now 40 years old, who's coming off of a 2-year layoff, who's coming off of a punctured lung, who's pulling out of fights left and right. I think Daukaus, he's younger. He's taken his job a lot more serious. He just quit his full-time police officer job, and he's now focusing full-time on MMA, and he's been looking in the best shape of his entire life. So I think this is a great fight for Chris Daukaus. I think he knocks out Shamil Abdurakhimov. I took the inside the distance just in case he does potentially submit Shamil, which nobody's ever submitted Shamil, but Chris Daukaus is a black belt in BJJ, so it could happen, but I just took the inside the distance just in case it does happen. But yeah, I think knockout's most likely. So give me Chris Daukaus for the win. Chris Daukaus inside the distance. Knockout is fine as well. Dan Hooker going against Nazareth Haqparast, and there are some fights that I just want to stay very far away from and just watch them from a fan perspective, and this is one of them. Just so many question marks, so many red flags. We've seen the visa issues, right, over the week, and it looks like both guys will be good to go, but Dan Hooker is going to be on a flight, like nearly a 20-hour flight just about, to America, to Vegas, and he's going to cut weight on Friday, the very next day. That does not sound good. If this fight was normal and both guys got here at a normal time, I would very well probably be betting Dan Hooker, but you definitely see money coming in on the Haqparast side, and I mean, don't hate that shot, right? Like, if Dan Hooker is compromised, and he very well could be, I'm curious to see the weigh-ins. I'm curious to see if Dan Hooker does make weight. If he does, that's going to be very impressive because some guys struggle making weight without a 20-hour flight, without cutting weight the very next day after a 20-hour flight. So we'll see what happens. Big red flags, big pass. Don't even look at any props. I'm just going to sit back and watch it from a fan perspective. Merab Dvalishvili going against Marlon Moraes. This one is very interesting for me, at least. So BetOnline opened up the Merab and Moraes props out on Monday, and this is very weird. So they opened up the Merab by decision at plus 275. So I put half a unit on that at 275, right? And then about an hour later, they moved the Merab decision to plus 250, all right? And then about an hour later, they completely take off all the props on the Moraes and the Dvalishvili fight. They take them all off, and I'm now recording this on a Thursday night, and those props have still not been put back on. BetOnline has not got those props back out. I'm not sure why, but you gotta think they made a mistake. So they have not voided my Merab decision bet yet, because that's a crazy line, plus 275, but they have not voided it yet, so good news there. But it's looking like Merab by decision on other books is like plus 110. I saw plus 125 as well, and with that, I also hedged with Moraes winning in round 1 at plus 950, and I put a quarter unit on that. So I feel like both of those cover a lot of outcomes of this fight, right? Like if Moraes wins, it's probably going to be a first-round finish. He is very, very dangerous. Merab Dvalishvili has not fought anyone nearly as dangerous as Marlon Moraes. Moraes is a great fighter, but he's great for about a round, then he slows down. So I think it covers that outcome. And then I also think if Merab does win, all he does is win by decision. If you do like Merab, I'd recommend the decision prop, or maybe sprinkle the third round prop. I think I saw it at like plus 1100, plus 1200. Merab by like third round KO is like plus 2400, something crazy like that. But I don't know. I mean, Merab's not much of a finisher, but maybe Moraes gasses out so bad that he does. But that's kind of my action for it. Merab by decision, plus 275, half a unit, and then Moraes round 1. Plus 950 quarter unit on it. If you like Merab, decision prop, round 3 sprinkle. If you like Moraes, probably inside the like I do not see Moraes winning a decision. If you like Moraes, like inside the distance is a steal if you do like him. Plus 450. And I'm shocked that Merab's inside the distance line is a lot better at plus 265 when Merab has not finished anybody. Merab has the worst finish rate on the entire card. So we'll see what happens though. I think Merab decision is the way to go though. And give me Merab Dvalishvili by decision, but we'll see what happens. All right, moving on. Jessica Andrade, Cynthia Calvillo. Yeah, no interest here. I think Andrade does win this fight. I think Calvillo could make it close if she does take down Andrade. We saw Andrade get taken down like 6 or 7 times last time she fought against Valentina Shevchenko, but that is Valentina Shevchenko. I think the more powerful striker is going to be Andrade. I think she can hurt Calvillo as well. And I don't think we can take too much away from that Valentina fight. She's Valentina. Valentina would do the exact same thing to Cynthia Calvillo, 100%. I'll pick Andrade here. Don't want to get involved with the minus 255. I think she wins. Maybe a solid parlay piece, but not for me. Curtis Blades, Jairzinho Rozenstruik. I do have a play here. I have half a unit on Curtis Blades by knockout, plus 185. Half a unit on that. We're getting a minus 310 heavyweight to finish by knockout at plus 185. I like that quite a bit. Rosenstruck has been knocked out once. He's lost by decision once as well. And yeah, Blades is a finisher, 71% finish rate, lots of knockouts on his record. Has one submission on his record, but that submission was because somebody tapped the strikes. If you do like Curtis Blades by submission, I saw it at plus 1,800 on the FanDuel Sportsbook. I thought about hedging on it, but I think a submission is very unlikely there. So half a unit Curtis Blades by knockout. I think he takes down Rosenstruck. Rosenstruck has no ground game, and I think he gets into a dominant position, just finishes them there. So give me Curtis Blades inside the distance. Robbie Lawler, Nick Diaz, my goodness. I mean, great fight, but there's just so many red flags that it's crazy, right? Like, we've not seen Diaz in 6 years, 6.5 years. We have not seen Diaz win a fight in nearly 10 years. And we're starting to see a lot more money coming in on Robbie Lawler after there was a video of Nick Diaz shadow boxing for pictures. It's just a fight. I want to stay away from this. I would never, ever put money on a fight like this with so many question marks about both guys, right? About both guys. Yeah, this is a pass. If you bet on this fight, good luck. I don't really see any reason why you'd want to bet on this fight. But yeah, we're starting to see more money come in on the Robbie Lawler side after that video came out of Nick Diaz shadowboxing. He does not look all that great, in my opinion, but he's shadowboxing for pictures. So what do we know? So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great fight, but yeah, I just can't put any money on it whatsoever. You know, a lot of people are going to be betting this fight. A lot of people are betting this fight. It's just not something I do. If I was betting as a fan, maybe I'd take a shot on Nick Diaz, but I don't bet as a fan. I don't pick fighters as a fan, so this is an easy pass for me. Valentina Shevchenko going against Lauren Murphy. Valentina Shevchenko is going to win, and I think she's going to win inside the distance. So there is money coming in on the Valentina decision. People don't think she can finish Murphy because Murphy's very tough. She's never been finished. That's the narrative, but this is my narrative. She's never faced Valentina Shevchenko. Valentina Shevchenko, just what she did to Jessica Andrade, she made Jessica Andrade look like an absolute bum. And Jessica Andrade is nowhere near a bum. I think she's going to destroy Lauren Murphy. I think she's going to finish her. I'm going to keep waiting it out. I'm hoping money keeps coming in on the Valentina by decision at plus 230, and I'm hoping I can get Valentina inside the distance. Maybe minus 150. I'd take minus 150 for sure, but I'll just keep waiting it out and see where that goes. Lauren Murphy's tough, she is, but man, it's a mismatch. It's not even close. Shevchenko should dominate her and finish. If she does not finish her, I don't know. I think she does finish her here. So give me Shevchenko for the win. Shevchenko by finish. I'm looking hard at the inside the distance line. That is now minus 170. But I'm going to keep waiting it out. Hopefully get a better price tag because people don't think she can finish lucky Lauren Murphy. And I 100% disagree. Main event, Alexander Volkanovski going against Brian Ortega. And a fight that I don't have action on. I see a lot of love for Volkanovski. I get it. I think he is the right side. He's going to be winning minutes of this fight. The only problem is, Brian Ortega is very dangerous. He's going to have 25 minutes to hurt Volkanovski, maybe knock him out, submit him. He's very dangerous anywhere the fight goes, obviously. And yeah, I think Volkanovski is the rightful favorite. I don't really see much value on that line. If you do like Ortega, I'd recommend taking him inside the distance, which is plus 250. If you like Volkanovski, I'd recommend taking him by decision at plus 120. But yeah, no bet for me here. I know it sucks not having a bet on the main event, but I'm just content with passing. I think the line's about right for Volkanovski. Ortega, if he does win, like I said, inside the distance, plus 250. Just don't really see much value there. So, yeah, that's about it for me, guys. As you can tell, it's a very sketchy card. Lots of sketchy spots, especially the Diaz fight, right? The hack brass hooker fight. Very, very sketchy. Very, very sketchy. And then, no straight bets. No straight bets for me. No parlays for me outside of the one I'm trying to cash from last week to this week. So I'll quickly go over my bets and we'll head out of here. Very light week for me. I know it's a big card, but a light week. Just a very sketchy card. So we have Sarukian, Blanchfield, and Santos parlayed together. 1.25 units, minus 123. Medic versus Turner. Fight doesn't go to decision. 2.5 units, minus 190. A fight does not start round 3. Medic Turner, plus 100. Half a unit on that. Rob Dvalishvili wins by decision, plus 275. Half a unit on that. Marlon Moraes wins in round 1, plus 950. Quarter unit on that. Shamil versus Dawkins. Dawkins wins inside the distance, plus 110, half a unit. Omar Morales, Jonathan Pierce fight doesn't go to decision, plus 115, half a unit. And then Curtis Blades wins by KO, plus 185, half a unit. So this is getting recorded on Thursday night. So the lines are obviously going to change, and I will be potentially adding one more bet depending on where that Valentina Shevchenko inside the distance line does go. But you can follow me on Twitter, DFS_numbers. Instagram is DFS by the numbers. I'll be posting my bets there on fight day as always for free. So check those out. Check me out on there. If you have any questions, you can hit me up as well. And yeah, that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, hanging out. Leave a like on your way out. Comment down your parlays. See who can hit the biggest parlay this week. And should be a fun card. Should be a fun card. I'd be careful on a lot of these spots. I would be careful with parlaying a lot of these big favorites because I would not be shocked if some of these favorites do crap the bed. So that's about it, guys. Good luck. And yeah, we'll talk to you soon. Saturday live stream in the morning. I'll get out the time. I'll post it on Twitter, so check me out there. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Saturday live stream, best bet with me, Uncle Weasley Narco. I'm going to try to find somebody else to hop on there with us as well. And then Friday, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. So that's about it, guys. Good luck, and let's make some money. See you guys.